This video contains footage regarding the humane slaughter, processing, and packaging of chickens for food. The content is intended for educational purposes and may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back. This is the second video in our series about processing our 23 chickens, what went wrong, and what we plan to do differently next time. At the end, I'll share links to other helpful videos that inspired the changes we're making. First, we learned that we needed a much larger cone. Our chickens ended up being huge and the old cone wasn't deep enough. I had to really pull their necks down, which you can see, which made it tricky to get a clean cut. And we've already bought a bigger cone from Premier One, and this should let the chickens fit all the way down to where their heads are already hanging out and making the process safer and easier. Lesson number 2 was we realized that slaughtering directly over the compost wasn't a good idea. The blood pooled up and formed a river through the pile, eventually leaking out and causing flies and a bad smell. Justin Rhodes had a strategy in one of his processing videos where he halfway filled up 5-gallon buckets with water and slaughtered the chickens over that. The water mixed with the blood and they poured it into the garden, so the water would pull the blood down into the garden so you wouldn't have to deal with flies, and you just added nitrogen to your garden. So we're going to be doing that next time. Lesson number 3, our knives were not sharp enough. That right there is a brand new knife that I'm using, and it got through 2 chickens beautifully, and then the rest I had to use that sawing motion to get deep enough to cut so that they could bleed out. I watched an incredible video on Abundance Plus by Justin Rhodes and Patrick Rohrman from mtknives.net, and we're going to be investing in some proper sharpening tools and practicing our skills before we go into the second batch for processing. A sharp knife would have made the process quicker and far more humane for the chickens. I strongly recommend you go check out Justin Rhodes' Abundance Plus subscription. It has paid for itself already in the valuable information and resources I've gathered. The final lesson is work in the shade. We did this whole thing in the sun. It took us 6 hours our first time to do 23 chickens. We were exhausted and overheating by the end. We have this beautiful line of trees at the back of our property where we could have done the entire process, everything from slaughter all the way through to evisceration. But we didn't. Next time, we will. If you don't have a line of trees like we do, I strongly suggest buying a canopy or 2 to shade yourself, because the heat of the day makes mistakes and frustrations far, far worse. And that sums up our lessons we learned slaughtering our first batch of chickens. I'm going to be linking videos here on these cards. These are not affiliated with me. They don't even know I exist, but they were super helpful for me for thinking about what I need to change with the process, what we need to add. I'm also putting links in the description to these videos and also to tools that were successful and tools that we're going to be using next time around. Please like this video. If you enjoyed the content, share it if you know someone else who would enjoy it. And I would love it if we provided some value to you, if you would subscribe, because we plan on doing more of these videos for the next steps of our slaughtering chickens process. See you on the next video.